Welcome back everyone. This video is my illustration of immersive landscape photography. On my way back to the Airbnb, this is my first sight of my location that I'm going to shoot. I stop the car, wait for sunset, and take the shot. And if you think this is nice, just you wait till you see what's on the other side.
Hello, welcome to Grand Teton National Park.
Welcome back to another video, everyone. I am the Grand Teton National Park in Wyoming, stateside. And I'm on a massive road trip of a lifetime, probably 2,500 to 3,000 miles across parts of the States. And this is kind of stop number one for photography. And you can see just some of the mountains here sneaking between the trees behind me. But I'm not wanting to give too much away. We're going to explore this part today, both today and also tomorrow morning, and then set off to my next location tomorrow afternoon. We're going to head up to Lake Taggart to see what we can find up there. It's really busy in the car park though, and so we might have some difficulties with too many people in such a highly populated with tourist locations such as this. But we're not going to find out by standing here, so I think it's about time we got going. Now this here are some of the Grand Tetons in Grand Teton National Park. And this one here, when I compare this to New Zealand, I thought that this was maybe 2,500 metres, which is less than Mount Cook in New Zealand, but this one here is actually 15,000 feet, or just under 5,000 metres tall, which is just incredible. I'm on the trailhead heading up to Taggart Lake just for a recce today, because there's about 2,000 cars actually in the car park, and so I think it's going to be too busy up here for photography, but I've got a couple of days that I can hang around here. But if we zoom in real close here, it's just beautiful. Look at this. That kind of sharp edge of jagged rocks. Ambient temperature outside just now is about 18 degrees centigrade, but it's still getting really cold at night here. This is actually probably my favourite time for shooting either on video or in stills, snowy mountains, because I love that reference of black behind the white. I think this contrast of black-white on any mountain profile at this level of snow cover is really, really cool. It would change obviously if it was completely all snowed out. It probably wouldn't give you the same dynamic change that we're seeing here. This is simply stunning. Now it's easy to become distracted when you're in places such as this, by the monumentality of these rock structures. and these big dramatic peaks at 15,000 feet. And one of the things that's kind of sprung out to me here, I don't even know if this will work, but what I'm seeing here is these, what I assume to be silver birch, really delicately just standing there waiting for spring to give them new leaves. And they're standing in amongst kind of deep bush here, in between the two peaks. So what I'm thinking is that if I can take these trees and put them in focus, place them in between these two peaks, but then use a really shallow depth of field with a longer focal length, and then get the width from here to here by way of a kind of long lens, short depth of field, long telephoto panorama, I should be able to throw these mountains out of focus a little bit. I'm not even sure if this will work, but I'm going to try it because I'm here. And I don't want to get back to the car and think I maybe should have taken that shot, because you just never know. So first things first, get the camera out the bag. But what I need to do is I need to make sure that I'm low enough to clear the tops of the mountains. So what I'll probably end up doing, I'm going to check this with 80mm on the medium format. And so I can actually get that in at 80mm on the medium format. So I can take a 2-shot side-by-side vertical panel and do my metering at, this is an f/4.5 lens, which equates to about 3.5 full frame because of what's called equivalence. And I might not even need, because I'm going wide open, I'll probably not even need a tripod with this. So let's just put me down to 1. That's okay actually. Let me just take this down a little bit more, keep it on 4.5, keep it on 80mm, get my focus set, there's my focus set there, and making sure that I'm in between the two mountains, 50%, and so that's a 2-shot overlapping panel shot vertically. And at 50% with this sensor, that'll give me just over 4.5 yards wide. So we've been walking for about 40 minutes. And I'm never going to get to where I'm trying to get to, which is further up the hill here to the lake, if I keep stopping. And I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but I think that my photography is changing. And I actually blame videography for it, to be honest, because it makes me see the world differently. And I'm looking here at this really random scene, which I don't know if you'll think I've lost my mind or make sense of at all, but I'm going to show you here what it is I'm seeing. I'm going to call it squiggly tree. I'm just going to come out here just for a second, and this is what I've got. So we've got, let me darken this down a little bit for you. We've got a nice landing here at the bottom, and then the fingers of the trees are coming out of that, but none of them are actually straight. Hence the name squiggly trees. So what I'm thinking, that if I can maybe, with the camera, zoom in quite tight and then crop it top and bottom there and just make a random abstract panorama. Might be interesting, might work, it might not work, but same as the last one. If you don't take it, you're not going to know. But this is, as I say, my photography is changing, and I think it's because of the way that I'm looking at B-roll in the cinematography or the video camera. Give it a shot. Yeah, so this one here, I'll probably shoot round about, I want to cut the sky out, so I have to punch in. And if I shoot 160 millimeters, it does two things. It reduces the scope for the shot, cuts out the sky, but also punches in on the detail as well. So, right, let me try this. Focus is critical on this. Well, it's very, very weird. It's very Elements magazine, to be honest. I'm just going to cut this down by a little bit. Yeah, I'm not sure. It's looking a little bit darker there. I guess if I start dark, I can always lift it. Focus in as far as I can. Squiggly trees. So this made it up to Taggart Lake after maybe an hour and a half. And I was wanting to try and shoot this peninsula here with the snow up above. I guess I've just got to work out where I take it from. There's quite a few people here. There's a group to my right and two groups to my left as well. It's lovely, and if only that water would go flat, calm, but I do have the 10 stop with me today as well. This is really lovely over here too. And in fact, although it's just a rock, punching through these branches and stuff would actually make quite a nice photograph. Because the ones on the left, bottom and top, help frame this. If I take this away, you can see them moving into frame. Frames that rock there, and then there's a lovely reflection. So the group to my right now have moved. And so I'm going to grab this opportunity to take this one here off that peninsula with the bottom of frame round about there. And the only reason I'm doing that is to try and get the tops of the mountains in as well. I'll maybe even put the wider lens on and try and get more of the water, because I've done my metering. I've got 250th of a second at f11. And I know that intuitively gives me 4 seconds with 10 stop filtration, but I'm going to need more than that. So I need to play around with f-stop, maybe up to f18 to give me maybe 8 seconds, which might be enough. So I'm just going to change this lens and put on the 40 to 80. And that'll ensure that I've got enough landscape from top to bottom to get everything in without struggling. So I'm going to change this from 125 to f18, and that compensates that stop. When I put my 10 stop on, and then onto live view, and I should be able to see through that. Look at my focus. Infinity and a tiny bit back. Still a little bit dark. So I'll take that down to 16. .30th. No, it's not actually. F22 is the f-stop. The light's obviously getting brighter, so let me just start over here. Just getting the reflections in, and we're on. And that's it, that's about right. So it's lovely in the sky as well. It's well metered for the sky because that clouds in the sky that are nice. I'll take this to 50%. And this has been shot at 70mm on medium format, and that's about 56mm in full frame. These clouds are really nice as well. Yeah, that's quite nice with the streaks. That's quite nice with the streaks of the clouds running across the sky, so we should get something from this, I think. I'll just take that across here, and that's a 3-shot panel, which gives me 9 to 4, which is 2.5 or 2.25 to 1 ratio. There's also some lovely light and colour in here, but I'm not convinced that with the dynamic range we've got here that I'll be able to do anything with that. If I don't try, I'll never know. If I do try, I just won't show you if it doesn't work. It's lovely and serene, it's very peaceful. So there's been a definitive temperature change of 2 or 3 degrees this last couple of minutes. And there's something going on up there because the wind picked up, it's gone away, and it's starting to rise slowly, which is making this water too choppy now to photograph. So I think it's time to get down from here and go somewhere else in this beautiful national park. I'll maybe head up towards the north of the national park that's close to the border with Yellowstone. There's some beautiful locations here. I just need to be able to make the most of them with my camera. I'm not quite sure though that cameras or photographs will do places like this justice. There's a bigger thing at play here. It's dramatic. And to be absorbed in this is actually really cool. This has been fun.
Now this is what I would describe as immersive landscape photography, where you fully engage with everything around you, both big and small. This too is where you become intrinsically linked with any shoot you become lucky enough to get involved with, making a difference to the experience and remembering that photography is a feeling and not a thing.
So the time is 5:15 in the afternoon, and I'm just back from the lake, and this is almost where we started before we went up. And you can see how differently the mountain looks here, just with that evening sun now coming over to the left and side lighting this, and it's bringing out the colour and the warmth and that rocks on the left hand face. You'll also see here some striations in the sky as well from the clouds, and these are the things, hopefully, if the horizon in the west is clear, that might give us some colour tonight. But I just wanted to show you that despite having been here before, looking at the same mountains, how they change from one part of the day to the next just based on sun rotation. Now I've come up to the north end of the national park here, and I saw this from a way in the distance. This is the mountain that we were originally under as we walked into. But what we couldn't see from around that direction was all these mountains to the side here, because they were around the corner. And this, as a scene, is just simply, it just goes on and on and on. What I was thinking was that I can't take it now because you can see that there's quite a bit of bleaching out here with the sun. If I darken this off just a little bit here for you, we've got this island in the middle, and if I could probably take this scene across the just here where we've got the landmass peeping in here on the left hand side, and take my panel to place that island in the middle of my frame, which will take this round to around about here on the right hand side there. That will give me about a 3-shot horizontal panel. But I can't do this just now because the sun is up here, as you can see, and it's bleaching out. There's quite a bit of, I don't know if it's the condensation in the air with the snow melt or not, but there's quite a bit of moisture in the air today, and the sun currently is catching that, which is making it all misty. However, I think that if we place the sun going down, I think the sun's going to go down away over here. It'll then place this landmass in shadow, and these wispy clouds, this thin layer of wispy clouds above here, this is the stuff that's going to catch light and colour if the western horizon is clear. And if these catch colour and light, then that will be pretty amazing actually, because it'll catch colour the whole way across the sky, all the way over here. I'm going to grab a quick bite to eat and probably just watch that sun and watch the behaviour of the light on this scene before I make a decision which one I come back to, because I've got 2 locations. I've got this one, which is very wide and dramatic, and I've got another one which is a little bit more intimate, I guess, but it still shows the mountains in the background. But that that's so dramatic. And this is the alternative spot here, placing these mountains kind of in the middle of the frame there. That's not the biggest mountain. The biggest mountain you can actually see, it's round the corner, round here. But that's dramatic enough, I reckon. And if we then look at positioning this central so that these 2 mountains here, this one and that one, are consistent on either side, just to finish off the frame. So the one thing that we've got to remind ourselves of is that northern hemisphere, the sun is travelling that way, so it's going to set over here. And if it's going to set over here, then it's going to rise over here. And as it rises over the eastern horizon over here, it's going to hopefully allow that mountain there to catch that orange glow in the morning. So as the sun comes up, the orange glow will come down the tips of these mountains. And if that happens, well, that would be pretty cool. But I would get that from the same location, the same in the other location as well. But I can shoot this all in one shot, so I don't have to worry about stitching a panorama. Choices, but a first world problem, I think. It's pretty stunning. So as I sit here looking at this, I think the decision's made for tonight as I wait for my dinner to cook, yielding my plastic spoon. I think that if I stay here tonight, hoping that we'll get some colour in the sky, and then tomorrow we'll shoot roughly the same scene, but I'll maybe punch further down the road to reveal some more of the mountains on the left. There's no guarantee that we're going to get colour, but I think there's maybe more likelihood we'll get colour tomorrow morning. So 2 shots similar, but they will be different, and we'll see how we get out. So the decision is made. This is where I'm staying, rightly or wrongly, but the only way to find out is just make a decision, take a chance, and you stick with that. There's no point running around trying to cover both bases. That's crazy. Some people maybe would take this colour on, rush to the other place, waste the time. Just compose, set up, do all your maths, and wait. Silent. Just in the last little while before that sun disappears behind that mountain, just top right now, there's some lovely contrast across this body of water here. Where the dark parts there in the middle of frame, we can see the reflections of the mountain. And then we've got some lovely highlights in this corner. And I don't know if you can see this here. Let me punch right in above the cars there. I know it's bleached out at the top, but there's some lovely light coming through these trees. Simply beautiful. Now what is quite encouraging is these clouds up here. They're actually building a little bit, but they're not heavy. They're just a light cover. So hopefully they're high enough, which they should be, because if you look at this mountain here, this mountain's about 15,000 feet above sea level. And so these clouds must be 25,000 feet, which would actually put them at medium cloud. So if we have a clear horizon off to the west, we might get colour tonight, and that would be pretty awesome. But as I say, there's no guarantees. Photography's not easy, landscape photography is not easy. If it was easy, everyone would be here. Just punching in when I'm watching this as well. What we've got, I don't know if you can see that there, it's just to the right of that tree. Middle of frame now, we've got some lovely light just hitting bang in the middle of frame, just that hill that's there. And one of the things that we found too is that whilst the wind picked up before when we got up the hill, it's gotten quite calm again, so that water is becoming flatter and flatter, and that's all about the ground temperature or the water temperature and the air temperature starting to balance. And when you get them to balance, we cut down on currents and thermals, which cause wind. A few minutes further on, and the sun is diving away in behind here, and you can see that the sky is actually starting to warm up a little bit. So when we've got this down in here, this part particularly down in here is starting to show a little bit of colour, just warming up a little bit, so we're heading in the right direction. But the water now, almost silky smooth. Whilst I am all set up ready to go with an ND on, I don't think I'm going to need this tonight, because if this water here stays as calm as it is now, I'll probably just shoot a natural shutter speed without softening it off, because as soon as I use an ND, remember, I'm going to lose some of the clarity in these reflections. And I'm just going to take a placeholder shot here. There's some kind of browny orange colour starting in the clouds up there, but just in case it doesn't get any better, I'm going to take this at 1/15th at f11 at 100 ISO. And that's really nice. I'll bracket it a little bit, and I'll come up to f9 at a 13th just to make it a little bit lighter, and I can recover both the shadows and the highlights. There's that beaver again. So I was waiting on the beaver to go away so that the tip of the mountain was a perfect reflection, but the beaver's gone and spoiled that just off to the left, so I'll just wait. Take that now. And as I say, it's the first shot there, wee bit of silhouetting in the bottom right corner, but it doesn't matter, because remember, this is about the mountain. The mountain, the reflection, and some colour. But I do see that some of the clouds are going grey already, which is maybe a telltale sign that this isn't going to work. Not for colour anyway. There's some pink in the sky away over here, which tells me that diffracted light is hitting the far sky. So remember what's going to happen with that. What's going to happen with that is that the sun has gone down over there, which causes that diffracted light in the far distance, furthest away from the sun. And as the sun goes further down, the light tracks across the sky. So if we're pink over here just now, logic tells me we should get pink above the mountains. So I'm going to wait. So always take cues from what's going on around you when you're looking at whether things are going to work or not. It's warming up actually. These clouds at the top are starting to go grey, which tells me this is as strong as it's going to get. And these will also eventually disappear. So not a bad way to end the night. This one paid off actually. This is actually stunning. So until tomorrow morning, we'll see you then.
So after narrowly missing 3 bison last night and 1 moose this morning, I'm crawling along the road here to the same location that we were at last night. Now you can see that we have a glimmer of colour this morning, with the sun due to rise in the brightest part on the right hand side of frame. On that right side of frame you can just see a long cloud just above the hill. And I'm watching that slim gap between the hilltop and the cloud, as this will determine the behaviour of colour for our shoot this morning.
See, it's coming back, see? The sun, it's coming back a little bit, so I don't know what's going on. I'm just going to talk to the camera. So the colour here has come and gone really quick. And whilst it's coming back very slightly, it was really strong there before, so it tells me that this cloud on the horizon is playing around with the light getting through here. Now I can see that cloud, it's just a tiny bit above the horizon, so if we can get a gap between, we might still get the golden glow in the top, which will be nice. And in the same way that I talk about taking a placeholder shot early in a shoot, maybe last night's shoot was actually a placeholder shot for today if this doesn't work. I have taken one panorama, almost taken in the left-hand mountain that we can see from here, all the way across to just before where the road is. And it's looking pretty nice, and again, no ND filters because the water is really flat. Fingers crossed. That's all we can do. So the colour has come and gone and the colour temperature has changed now, but the only glimmer of hope that we've got is this solitary cloud up here. But additionally, you'll see the clouds off to the right, way in the distance there, also catching. But the colour palette is such that they're not magenta, so I think it's almost daylight, which probably indicates the light colour that we're going to get on these mountains here. You can also see that just in the last couple of minutes since I started talking, this here, we knew that was catching, but there's now 2 or 3 other clouds catching as well. So obviously these clouds are much higher than the mountain, so that's then going to tell me that the sun is tracking towards the tip of that hill. So a couple more minutes, I reckon. And that there now is the sun on the tip, but again the wrong colour. But it doesn't really matter, and it's giving me strong reflections against that dark water, so I'm going to go and take this if I can, just to finish off this shoot, I think. So that there's the end of the shoot for today. The sun is officially up. And I think I'm going to finish this video on a high actually. I know I had other places to try and take you, but I think if I do that, I'll do it without the video camera. Just take a shot and slot that in at the end of the video. Always finish a shoot if you can on a high. Whilst I've got other places to go, it's the last shot in a shoot that you actually remember. And the shoot last night and this one here today, both completely different, but both equally as beautiful. So on that note, you keep shooting, you have fun, get out and see a bit, and just enjoy whatever it is you see. Until next time, you take care. Cheerio.
Thanks for watching everyone, wherever you are. Until next time, keep shooting, have fun, and immerse yourself in landscape photography. Cheerio.